Okay, this is my last attempt at trying to make this video. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So what this video is about is that Pope Francis delivered a homily where he called the Ten Commandments, over-focusing on the Ten Commandments, a form of cowardliness. And he also said that to be wary of the sin against memory. And he also said that you got to take risks in life sometimes. And I know exactly what he's saying. And I came out and I called him unintelligent on Reddit. And it was wrong for me to call him unintelligent. He's not unintelligent. We all know he's not unintelligent. He's a spiritual genius. He's the Pope of Roman Catholicism. You know, you don't become Pope when you're not a genius. You know what I mean? In some way. You know, maybe not in, scholastic terms. Anyway, let me carry on here. I've been living with my uncle too long. I'm starting to get his mannerisms like this. Anyway, he puts his hands up. Anyway, it's really ridiculous. But anyway, no, Pope Francis was right about this, and I was wrong. I called him unintelligent for saying this, and I thought about it when I was driving around tonight, and he's absolutely 100% correct, and here's why. He talks about the sin against memory. Well, if you lived such a scrupulous life that you never took a chance, you never committed a sin, then you have no memory. You can't look back to look forward. What he's talking about is that when you make moral decisions and moral choices, you have to remember, you have to use your memory to think about situations in your life where there were moral ambiguities, and you may have made the wrong moral choice. So you use your memory to remember situations where you made the wrong moral choice. So if you never made any wrong moral choices, or if you cling so closely to the Ten Commandments that you never put yourself outside of a box, and you never meet sinners, you never go out and meet sinners or experience life through the eyes of sinners. I have a really good example for this, and I'm just going to share it because I feel like it's edifying, So when transgender people come on Reddit, on our subreddit, or in general, when you meet a transgender person, they maybe they want to rejoin the church, they want to rejoin the Catholic Church, maybe they were raised Catholic and they went down the wrong path. The immediate thing that we think, or that I think, I won't speak for anybody else but myself, is, you made a wrong moral choice. You chose the transgender lifestyle. You're in the wrong way, right? You're in the wrong locus, But that's the wrong way to think about it. And I think what Pope Francis was trying to say is that, you can't automatically think about others under the same rigors of the Ten Commandments. He's not saying go out and break the Ten Commandments. That's not what he's trying to say. He's trying to say is, unless you make mistakes in life, unless you're able to use your memory to think about sin and your relationship to sin, you're never going to be able to relate to other sinners. So when I think of a transgender person, I'm not thinking of a sin. I'm not judging them for being a sinner. We're all sinners. What I'm thinking is this person had it so hard in life that they decided that it would be preferable to switch genders and become someone else than to deal with the traumas that they had to endure, the emotional, physical, whatever traumas. There's some form of escapism in transgenderism, and none of what I'm saying right now is politically correct. But how could we ever have a true conversation, a Roman Catholic conversation, if we're going to be under the parameters of political correctness? So this is why I'm starting to like the Pope, because he shoots from the hip, and he doesn't care what anybody else thinks about what he's about to say. He just says it. And so what I'm trying to say is, unless you have sinned in your life, then how are you going to be able to contextualize, your relationships to other sinners that you need to go out and help, as Pope Francis wants us to do? And how are you going to understand the nature of your own self and your own sin if you're so rigorous with yourself, it's great to follow the Ten Commandments, and it's great to be a Christian. I'm not saying, the way he framed this is totally absurd. It's hard to defend what he had to say because he said it so. He does not have a way with words. He is a genius, and what he's saying is absolutely correct. It's just not said in the proper context. And at first I thought, it was a translator, but it's just the way he is. Time after time, you're gonna find things where Pope Francis he seems to say something so dunderheaded, but you find out it's just the way he chooses to express himself is in a shroud of ambiguity. He doesn't like to say something straight to the point, which is interesting. And if God gave us a flawed pope, then God has a reason for that. God doesn't make mistakes, and God gave us a gift of Pope Francis. And I think that we're going to find out eventually that this guy is really important to the church, and there's a reason why God chose Pope Francis. We can all agree on that, and we need to respect that. But that's not what this video is about. This video is actually trying to say, look, I'm a conservative Catholic. I'm a conservative Christian. I'm a conservative American. I'm conservative, period. I go on InfoWars for my news, okay? Jumpman is a conservative. And but the truth is, the Pope is really, really awesome because he is a risk taker. He takes risks all the time in what he says and what he does. He doesn't care what the consequences are as long as he feels that he's representing a Catholicism. He's representing Christianity. So this video is getting long, and I just really, give me a break, all right? Because what Pope Francis said is really hard to elucidate in the first place. But just to sum up, now that I'm about to end the video, the whole idea about memory is absolutely genius. You need to contextualize not only your own sins, but the sins of other people through memory. It's about looking at the transgender and saying you're a sinner. No, it's about looking at the transgender and saying, wow, what kind of alienation and isolation did you experience in your life that you had to choose to switch genders, which is a logical fallacy. You can't switch your gender. But like I said, escapism. So, and this is going to come off as transgender hate, but I'm not hating on them. I probably should have used a less confusing example, but I really can't think of anything off the top of my head. But it's with anything. It's like how do you know how to help somebody unless you've been where they've been? You know what I mean? Unless you've been in the gutter, unless you've been a sinner. Jesus was interested in the sinners, the people who weren't putting up fronts and pretending to be holier than thou. And I think that goes to the crux of what Pope Francis was saying, no pun intended, is if you go around touting the Ten Commandments and holding them up some kind of ideologue, and then you don't treat the sinners with respect and with dignity, God bless you, but you're on the wrong path if you think that you got to judge everybody, and you use your memory, you remember your own sins to be able to contextualize their experience. Yeah, you're looking at somebody who's in the gutter. Yeah, you're looking at an alcoholic. Yeah, you're looking at a person who's got mental health issues. Yeah, you're looking at a person who is homeless, or you're looking at a person who is really a rotten person, just negative person, just somebody trying to tear you down. You look at these people every day in your life. Maybe you don't get along with your boss. Blah, 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 blah. Thing is, you have to contextualize all these people. You got to realize that everybody is really seeking the glory of God in their own way, or they want to. There's something in their soul that is telling them they want to know the truth about Christ. And that's how we have to confront other people. We can't confront other people like, you're wrong, you made a mistake, you're not Catholic, that stuff just doesn't work. So I don't know if I came across even semi-coherently, but you know what, I don't really care. I'm starting this YouTube channel just to express myself in an off-the-cuff manner. Everybody else does it, why not me, So I really think Pope Francis was onto something here. Take it easy.